There are nights when you lie in bed, your mind spinning with everything that happened that day. A comment from a coworker, a message that was never answered, a decision you regret. You ask yourself why you let such small things control your emotions, why you feel so weak. If you have ever felt this way, you're not alone. Nearly 2,000 years ago, another man struggled with the exact same thing. But he was not an ordinary man. He was the emperor of the most powerful empire the world had ever known. He held almost absolute power in his hands. He held the fate of tens of millions of lives. And yet, every single night, in a tent in the middle of a battlefield or in a marble palace, he sat down with a pen and wrote to himself. He wrote private notes to remind himself how to live well. That man was Marcus Aurelius, and those private notes were later known to the whole world as meditations. The strange thing is that Marcus Aurelius never meant for this book to be published. He wrote it for himself. It was the private journal of a man trying to become a better version of himself in the middle of the pressures, the temptations, and the tragedies that only an emperor has to face. And because he wrote it only for himself, the words in Meditations feel impossibly real. Nothing is polished. Nothing is preached. It is only the raw honesty of a human being trying not to be crushed by life. The first lesson Marcus reminded himself of every single morning was something simple but powerful. He told himself that today he would meet arrogant people, rude people, liars, ungrateful people. But he would not let them hurt him because they did not know any better. They were acting according to their own nature, not against him. Does this sound familiar? Every day you meet people like that too. The driver who cuts you off in traffic, a difficult boss, an unreasonable customer. We usually let those people ruin our entire day. But Marcus says you cannot control how others behave. The only thing you can control is your own response. That is the foundation of the entire book. Between what happens to you and what you feel, there is always a space. And in that space lies your freedom, your choice, yourself. The second lesson is even more powerful. Marcus constantly reminded himself that he was going to die. It sounds dark, but it is actually one of the most liberating thoughts he left us. He wrote that you should live every day as if it were your last. Not to live in a rush, but to live with meaning. Because when you truly realize that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on meaningless things. You stop getting angry over nothing. You stop worrying about things that have not happened yet. You begin to treasure every single breath. Death, according to Marcus, is not the enemy. Death is a teacher, a quiet teacher that reminds you how precious this life really is. And the third lesson is perhaps the one that has changed the most lives. Marcus wrote that the obstacle is not what stands in the way of your path. The obstacle is the path. When life pushes you into a difficult situation, do not see it as a cliff. See it as a stairway. Every hardship is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, more steady. No real success is born out of ease. Everything in life that has value must pass through fire. When you read these words, you notice something strange. An emperor who lived almost 2,000 years ago in a world completely different from ours is speaking about the exact things you are going through right now. About pressure, about anger, about fear, about feeling like you cannot control your own life. That is because human nature does not change. The suffering we carry today, people carried 2,000 years ago. And the solutions are still there, sitting on the page, waiting for us to rediscover them. After I closed meditations, I sat in silence for a long time. I realized that for years I had been searching for peace in all of the wrong places. I searched for it in the approval of others. I searched for it in success. I searched for it in things I could buy. But real peace, according to Marcus, can only be found in one place. It can only be found inside your own mind. And to find it, you do not need anything grand. You only need to begin each day with one simple question. Who do I want to become today? And then you live according to your answer, no matter what the world throws at you. That is the true legacy Marcus Aurelius left behind. Not his empire. His empire crumbled long ago. It was the honest heart of a man trying to live with integrity in a difficult world. If you are feeling lost, tired, or simply in need of a foundation to start over, pick up meditations and read a few pages every night before bed. You do not need to finish the book. A single sentence is enough. Carry that sentence into the next day. If this video was useful to you, leave a comment sharing the line from meditations that moved you the most. Subscribe to continue this journey with me through the books that can change the way we see life. And I will see you in the next video.